Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are back in Heavensward today, so we can take a look at the Alexander Raid series. Now, this is a series that lasted throughout the content patches, or rather, on all the evened patches for Heavensward. And it all starts with this goblin here, Slowfix. We got a quest here, Disarmed. Is Uplander seeing it? Giant of iron rising from river? Ystrola and Cid leave to learn more, but are not back yet. Great is plight of Gobby Flock. Giant is too big, can squash Idleshire flat. Where are Uplanders? Calm yourself, Slowfix. Ah, Prince, 'tis well you are here, for our need is dire. A colossus of steam and steel has risen from the Thaliac. Yet it is no mere forgotten contrivance of Charlian. The resultant etheric disturbance confirms that it is a primal, and that it was summoned amidst the ruins left for the river to reclaim. For a mercy it stopped dead no sooner than it had broken the water's surface, but so long as it remains in our realm, it may spring to life again at any moment. Yes, but what does Uplander find near Idleshire? Is wilderness still heavy with aether? Nay, the aether grows perilously thin, and more swiftly than I could have imagined. The primal is bleeding the land dry. Should it be suffered to continue, this entire region will become a barren waste in a matter of moons. No! Gobby Flock has only just found home after long wanderings. Idleshire will not fall. Slowfix will not allow it. And nor will we. I have already spoken with Alphino, and he concurs that we Scions of the Seventh Dawn must do all in our power to eliminate the threat. Yet, given its size, I deem it wise to attack from two fronts. Our first and most obvious recourse is to keep our foe in check with blade and magic, much as we have done with other such adversaries. Second, I propose that we attempt to cut off the flow of aether which sustains it, mayhap by physically separating the primal from the land. If we are to be rid of the Colossus, I think the latter course more promising, and mean to enlist Master Matoya's aid in pursuing it. Yet such things take time. Thus I have asked Master Garlon to remain here and keep watch over our foe. Given its apparently mechanical nature, his expertise should prove invaluable to you. To you, I say, for I would leave the fate of Idleshire in your hands. Should the primal chance to stir ere my return, you are to join Cid in repelling it. An unenviable task, but one for which you are singularly qualified. Let's do it. Rest assured, I do not mean to linger with Master Matoya any longer than necessary. The moment we find a solution, I shall make haste to rejoin you here. Well then, let us be about our duties. I will leave you to discuss strategies with Cid. Backrix is keeper of knowings for Idleshire, can say where Cid has gone. Uplanders should start with Backrix. Alright, so we need to locate Backrix, and that is actually going to be outside of Idleshire, on the eastern side. And also, just as a quick note, I would recommend that you complete collecting all the aether currents in the area before you undertake this, as there is a point where you will need to have access to flying in the area. And we are headed right over here. Backrix is keeper of knowings and data. What does Uplander wish to learn about? Ah, Uplander comes in search of Sid, yes? My thanks for sharing your knowledge, Backrix. These Illuminati are indeed most hostile. Ah, Prince, old friend. You haven't seen Y'shtola, have you? She's working with Matoya. Drained of all aether in a matter of mere moons. 7 hells. How much power does that thing need? Too much, plainly. Well, it sounds as if we have an urgent dismantling job on our hands. From what Backrix has been telling me, the Illuminati are the most likely culprits. They have the knowledge to summon a primal, and the requisite short-sightedness not to think better of it. Fanatical captures their philosophy nicely, I think. Their goal being nothing less than sole ownership of all the world's technology. Needless to say, they are more than willing to kill anyone who stands between them and what they want. Quite how they managed to coax a primal into the hulk of a Charlian defense mechanism, I don't know. But it looks like they've made themselves a tidy little fortress inside the Colossus. We'll need to contend with them if we're to disable the thing. As for the task itself, simply destroying whatever serves as its engine should do the trick. Assuming it is, in fact, mechanical. But before all that, we need to find a way in. Though through yet another bloody barrier. Barrier's not new. Rose up 3 years ago after ground made shivery shakes. Ruin was freed from riverbed then. Roundrox was there. Saw with own 2 eyes. Roundrox? Sorry, who is... Daughter of Slowfix. Roundrox loves junk more than all other gobbies. Was collecting then and is playing now. Look. Shiny junk and sparkly rocks. Bitty bobs and whirly cogs. I'm sorry for interrupting, Roundrox, but I need to ask you a question. When the ground shook 3 years ago, did something come bobbing up to the river's surface? Bobbing? Nothing bobbed, silly Uplander. Ground made shivery shakes when Giant of Whirly Cogs stood. And then magic walls came up too. So it wasn't the tremor that freed the Colossus? It was the Colossus which caused the tremor? And you're absolutely certain you saw it rise from the waters, young one? Seven hells. I think someone tried and failed to summon it 3 years ago. But was it the Illuminati, or... Shock! Brayflax comes to trade tongue flaps, Uplander. Ah, just the goblin. Slowfix tells me you're his resident expert on the Illuminati. Pardon me a moment while I consult with my fellow Uplander. Prince, if I may make a suggestion, I'll speak with Brayflax and learn what I can of our opponents. In the meantime, could you investigate the Colossus itself? Biggs and Wedge are near where its hand landed on the shore of the Thaliak. Join them and see if you can't find a way inside the machine. Oh, and good luck with that barrier. Alright, let's make our way over to Biggs and Wedge. And they are going to be over here. Here we go. Prince, come to see the Colossus, eh? The chief has us looking for a way in. Of course, there's a bleeding barrier around the thing. Another one. Luckily for us, when the big feller came down, its hand clamped onto the shore here, punching a hole in its defenses, and leaving that round portal there unprotected. Only trouble is, it's locked and doesn't seem to have a key. For want of a better idea, Wedge is listening in to the Illuminati Link Pearl communications, in hopes they'll mention the trick to opening it. Dee-da. There's only one signal coming from inside the giant, and it's always the same pattern. I'm certain it's a code. The Illuminati always use coded messages. From what I hear, they've developed a special kind of crystal specifically for transmuting Link Pearl waveforms. If we could get our hands on one, the Chief's decoding machine here should theoretically be able to use it to untangle the meaning. Quite where we'd find such a crystal is another matter. Shock. Does Uplander know Round Rocks? She makes great collection of junk and things. Maybe is keeping Crystal at shortstop. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck? And it just so happens I've been working on a means of identifying the crystal in question. Here, Prince, take this 3G7001B. Sprinkle that powder over this so-called collection, and look for anything that glimmers. It should contain the material we need. You may have to borrow one of Round Rock's treasures, but I'm sure she won't mind if you tell her it's for a good cause. Alright, back to the shortstop we go. Alright, we've got the junk pile here. Let us sprinkle the powder. Amongst the jumble of bits and bobs, you spy a faintly glimmering stone. Alright. Oops, we actually need to retrieve the stone here. What is Uplander doing? Sneaky taker. Treasure belongs to Round Rocks. Uplander needs it for giant of whirlycogs, but glowstone is most favorite treasure of Round Rocks. Alright, but Uplander must promise to bring it back, or Round Rocks is getting very angry. Alright, let's head back over. Ah, Prince. No burns. I see. Oh, no reason. Tell me, did the 3G7001B reveal anything? Let's hand over the glowstone. Thank you. And you have my word that I'll give this back to Round Rocks when I've finished with it. Now, let's take a listen to what the Illuminati are really saying. Goodness, all that infernal beeping is gone. Now it's a message clear as day. Let's see. Today's schedule for Gordias. Registration at 7th bell. Stop. Loose the coral cubs at 3rd bell. Stop. Rest and recuperation at 2nd bell. Repeat. Today's schedule for Gordias. Coral loosing? But I'm sure that was the only message. This has to be some sort of jest. Don't be daft, Wedge. It's just another code. You need the proper crystal and the proper knowledge to understand it. Bleeding Illuminati. Should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Quite the conundrum you have there. but it's your lucky day. I'll crack the code, assuming we can come to a little arrangement. I'm a treasure hunter by trade, and there's a certain something I want inside the giant. I help you get inside, you help me get out with it. A fair deal, no? The name's Mead, by the way. Charmed, I'm sure. You are aware that the interior is almost certainly swarming with Illuminati, yes? Why do you think I came to you? There's strength in numbers, friend. Best we join forces, eh? Now, the words you intercepted are largely gibberish. But paired with the numbers, well, you'll see. 7 stop, 3 stop, 2, wasn't it? You, the big one. See the pipes atop the hatch? There ought to be a valve up there, with a hand wheel. Imagine it's a clock, and try turning it right to 7, left to 3, and then back to 2. Looks like that did it. We did it! We did it! So the Illuminati have been announcing the way to enter the Colossus all along? Strange. Well done for cracking the code, anyway. I had less success, sadly. I'm afraid Brayflox knows little more than we do about the Illuminati's plan or the Primal. Come, come, things aren't as bad as all that. We found a way inside the machine. We'll just have to learn about it as we go. It's only a massive mammoth, after all. Stopping it should be as simple as destroying its core. If we send in a suitably intrepid team of surveyors, I don't see why we can't trace the machine's power back to the source via the struts and piping. And I know just the man to lead the party. What say you, Prince? Let's do it! And what of me, pray tell? I opened the way for this grand expedition of yours. Surely that's earned me a place in your little band to hunt for my treasure. You did as you promised, and you may do as you will now. But only so long as your treasure hunt doesn't endanger the mission. I'd join you if I could, but there's something I need to go see first. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge here in case of emergencies. Good luck, my friend. Alright, the Fist of the Father is now accessible. You now have access to the Fist of the Father, or Gordias can be accessed via the entrance in the Maker's Quarter. Or via the Duty Finder. So, let's queue up. Looks like we got a small wait here. Since the Charlian Exodus, a structure that stood steady against the flow of the Thaliac River, now the Illuminati have summoned a primal around this rusting ruin. A terrible colossus of steam and metal. Steel screamed against steel when it rose from the waters, and it drank deep of the land's aether before grinding again to a halt. The voices of Idleshire cry out, asking for aid ere their homes are crushed under the weight of iron. You must lead a band of valiant adventurers into the Machina and discover how to destroy the core, lest the giant screeches again to life and bleeds all the realm dry. Okay, and let's see what everybody else has to say while we're waiting here. giant of metal is holding fast to land, and Slowfix is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. If there's anything we can do to help you, you need but ask. I'll keep checking Illuminati communications. If there's any change, you'll be the first to know. You needn't worry unduly about me. Once I have what I'm searching for, I'll leave. Simple as that. Now, hopefully this won't take too long. One thing that is actually helping with the queue here is the fact that there is now a roulette system for normal raids, which is what this raid is classified as. The Omega Deltascape and Sigmascape are also classified as normal raids. The only thing that is not a part of the normal raid roulette is the Binding Coil of Bahamut, which is yet another raid series, but the reason it's not included is because the Binding Coil of Bahamut was tuned to such a level that it would not work as a roulette. It was intended... It basically only had one level of difficulty, and that was the equivalent of Savage level difficulty. While we wait here, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this guy? So right now, we've basically got the one hand here. And that over there is its face. Looks like he's got one of his eyeballs out there. And of course, we got this barrier here that prevents us from even getting inside. But despite the barrier, the water is still moving inside of there. Now, with any luck, this won't take too much longer here. We're most of the way through the initial wait here, although that could change as things happen here. So yeah, it looks like we're starting to go, we're about to go past the 5-minute marker here. Hopefully this won't take too long, though. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's get moving. Alright, we need to get past this steam room here. And here we have Faust, the doorman. Alright, everybody's here. Let's get this going. So this is pretty simple. You just want to grab the adds as you're going through here, and then once Faust is down, the rest of them disappear. Surf's up! Alright, so we got the oppressor here. What we want to do is we want to grab him, and we're going to bring him over to the south side. The reason for that is the other tank here is going to pick him up, or he's going to pick up an ad that's going to show up partway through the fight here. Or at least that's if everything goes according to plan. Alright, here comes the ad. And basically what needs to happen from here is they both need to go down at the same time. Unfortunately, it does not seem like the other tank is paying attention here. And again, they're going down pretty quick here, so I guess it really doesn't matter. It was more of an issue back when this was current content, I guess. And that finishes off the first boss. Alright, and so the loot that you get in this series is similar to what you get from Omega, whereby you're going to get a bunch of different items that you can turn in. But since I'm already above the item level for those, it really doesn't even matter here. If you do want to bring up another class, though, it would be a nice thing to have. Expertly done, adventurer. Well, what have we here? Sorry, Round Rocks could not stay away. So many new treasures here. Treasures? Oh, you mean the odd bits and bobs. Well, little one, these machina are yours to take, and some of them are rather beautiful, I must admit. Uplander can tell pretty machines from ugly? Just like Round Rocks. No harm in adding one more to our company, is there? I'll keep an eye on her. Damn it, I was so sure. Uplanders are unwise to come, but most of all is Treasure Hunter. What she seeks is not here, not in all of Gordias. As I live and breathe, quick thinks all thoughts, master of the Illuminati. Shock. Gobbies are backstrapped with boom dust. Uplander shoots everybody kabooms. Uplander ear catches tongue flaps of master. Enigma Codex for plans making is gone. Illuminati are already undertaking Alexander initiative. Foolish Gobby! Secrets are kept silent. Tongue flaps never traded with outsiders. Has Quick Thinks not ordered so many times? But master, forgive noise-making of empty head. Gobby did not think. Please, Gobby, we'll take any punishment. Just not worse one. Now. What? Uplander is shooting Gobbies! And boom dust does not harm Uplanders. Blood. Uplander blood for fallen Gobbikin. I think now would be a good time to leave. Uplander, what is Enigma Codex? Treasure? Yes, young one, my treasure. Alright, that clears up that quest. Bleeding hells. Face to face with the head of the Illuminati, eh? Sounds like you had quite an adventure, and this Alexander initiative has got me wondering. Do you reckon it might be the giant's name? No sign of the core, though, eh? Well, we'll just have to look further in. I'll let the chief know anyway. He'll be happy to hear Meat and Round Rocks are safe, too. Those two haven't stopped talking about machines since they got back. Can't say I've ever thought of junk as pretty, but each to their own. Alright, on to the next quest. Ah, Prince, ready to have another go at finding the Giant's core? Wedge, could you... Oi, Wedge! Stop listening to that bloody blink pearl. When we barged through the Illuminati's front door, they know we've broken their code. But I've just this moment intercepted a new communication. If you'll give me a moment to... There, it says... Oh. Death to Uplanders. Death to Uplanders. I think we may have started a war. Alright, the Cuff of the Father is now accessible. Gordias can be accessed via the entrance in the Maker's Quarter, or we just queue up for it right here. Alright, so once again, a small wait here to actually get in. Hopefully this won't take as long as the first one. While we're waiting here, let's chat with everyone. Roundrocks likes mead. Trading tongue flaps is much fun. Look, this whirlycog Roundrocks finds 63 yalms north and west. And that one was only 10 yalms from Arkiton. Shock. Shiny junk and sparkly rocks. Biddy bobs and whirlycogs. My, but Roundrocks has a lot of treasures. Not many are of much use, but they're all lovely in their own right. She has a fine eye. Speaking of which, do you recall me mentioning that she had described Quickthink's face, and how I assumed she must mean his mask? Well, the more I think about what she said, the more I think she really did mean his face. But how could she possibly tell? Alright, Biggs. If the Illuminati want a war, it seems only fair that we bring their base to its knees. We need to find the Giant's core and quick. Backrix is still helping me intercept Illuminati communications. He really is a natural when it comes to codes. Truly, these goblins never cease to amaze me. Backrix is keeper of knowings and data. What does Uplander wish to learn? Watcher book I1? Call. Give Backrix a moment. There, now Uplander can read Gabi account. Illuminati posed a threat to Idleshire from their stronghold inside Charlian ruins, but when stronghold becomes a colossus of iron and begins to climb out of river, then does Gabi flock turn to Scions for aid. Now Time's head gob of Illuminati is Quickthink's all thoughts. He desires to make all knowings his own, takes ancient technologies as point of fighty tool, and keeps secrets clenched tight in fist of iron. Colossus of Iron is no doubt Illuminati handiwork. Ystrola says it feeds on aether, is draining hinterlands with much fastness. Land will be emptied if stirs again. But Illuminati magic barrier protects Giant, and has since great shivery shaking of ground 3 years past. Backrix thought Charlian ruins were freed from river bottom then, and came bombing to surface. But Daughter of Slowfix says different. Roundrocks claims that Giant stood then, and ground quivered under its feet thumping. Sid believes her, and thinks that someone tried to summon the great primal and failed. Alright, so here is the second part of the raid series. Alright. Let's do it. So this one is a little bit different than the first one. We do have a couple of fights we have to go through here in order to get to the boss area, and the boss area is kind of unique. Now I'm trying to remember if if there's a cutscene before then or not. We'll see. And if that becomes an issue, potentially we might queue in again. We'll have to see. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually gone through this thing. Alright, this should be the last trash pull. Alright, here we go. God blockers, stand firm. Alright, here we go. So, we've got basically a bunch of trash here that makes up the boss, which is why this one is kind of unique. But at the same time, you do also have these Goblockers here, and their main purpose is basically to remove a certain threat from the fight. Looks like the person in the Goblocker is having fun there. Alright, and that's the reason you want to pilot the Goblockers. It's because of those bombs that show up. You essentially want to pull them away from the party. So yeah, for this particular portion of Alexander, there actually is no specific big boss. It's more of this gauntlet that you have to go through here. And there we go. All right, let's get out of here. Uplander is amazing. Uplander is stronger than 10 gubbies. Ah, there you are, old friend. I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever find you. Big's account left something to be desired, so I thought it best to see the interior with my own eyes. A treasure hunter, through and through. Tell me, what exactly do you hope to find here? Ever heard of the Enigma Codex? It's a book of ideas written some 100 years past, the life's work of one of the greatest technologists ever to draw breath. Within its pages are found myriad wonders, from designs for machina that could operate ceaselessly for centuries to novel ways of culturing cheese. Even a fragment of the book could bring a king's ransom. But most remarkable of all are the plans for a walking citadel. It was to be a beacon of logic and reason for all the world. A walking citadel? 7 hells, we're standing in it, aren't we? The Illuminati's primal took its form from that idea, but I sense that none of this is new to you. You've read it, then, this Enigma Codex? The design catered for every needful thing, from warm beds to crops of grain. Its occupants would never have to leave, and all in a fortress on feet, impenetrable and ready to move at a moment's notice. The citadel was meant to bear the most brilliant scholars and artificers of the age to all 4 corners of the world, that they might set about unraveling the mysteries of creation, and this utopia, this shining seat of erudition, was to be called Alexander. If Roundrocks lived in Walking Castle, Roundrocks could collect treasure from everywhere. Indeed you could, little one, and anything you found, be it junk, forgotten teachings, or lost secrets, would be yours for the taking. And what exactly would the Illuminati do with all this knowledge? They would use it to take control, most likely. Create a world ruled by a few chosen scholars. Unless I'm mistaken, that is why the Illuminati exist. Bloody fanatics. Take a perfectly good idea and make it into an object of faith. What could possibly go wrong? I can well imagine how a people who have spent decades carrying their homes on their backs might crave a home that could carry them. How such a place could seem like a utopia. But we're not talking about a machine here. We're talking about a primal. And primals will be the death of us all. I trust you'll be ready when things come to a head, Prince? Oh yeah. Utopia is happy place? Where there is junk aplenty, Roundrox is happy. Where is very happy place of meat? Wherever he is. Alright, let's finish up this quest. This Enigma Codex sounds amazing. A walking citadel is one thing, but a self-sustaining walking citadel? Genius! It's just a pity the Illuminati had to go and make a bleeding primal out of it. From what I understand, this Alexander was active for no more than a few seconds. That's seconds! And it nigh drained the hinterlands of Aether. Imagine what it'd do if it wandered the whole bleeding world. I don't think Roundrox realizes how much danger we're in here. Too busy hunting for new treasures. Probably for the best, though, eh? Alright, on to the next one. We've got ourselves a problem, Prince. But don't worry, the Chief has a plan. Speaking of whom, Chief, over here. All present and correct, I see. Good. Something has been nagging at me for a while, Prince, and I finally realized what it is. It concerns the communications wedge intercepted. So, we know that the Illuminati have managed to establish a base inside the Colossus, meaning they must also have found a way to pierce the magic barrier. Assuming that's the case, what need have they to use the only hatch which the barrier doesn't protect? And why go to the trouble of sending coded messages on how to unlock it? The answer? Spies. I believe the Illuminati have an agent outside the Colossus, most like an Idleshire itself, who is using the hatch as a back door. Now, this agent will know we've broken their code, and that the hatch is constantly watched, so he won't have been able to use it for some time. As such, he'll doubtless be desperate to re-establish contact with the inside. And that's why I've cleared the area around the giant's hand. All we need to do now is watch and wait, and follow whoever makes a dash for the hatch. Chief, Link Pearl call from Red Bricks. He says Brayfox went inside, but she can't be. No, it must be an impersonator. Chief, whomever you met earlier was a spy. Quick, you've got to get after her. Alright, the Arm of the Father is now accessible. And once again, let us go ahead and queue up. Okay, it looks like the wait is getting a little bit longer here. So, since the Charlian Exodus... Okay, this seems to be the same thing as before, actually. Now, let's see what everybody has to say here. Biggs? Mead and the Chief are already inside Alexander. Rally your band and get after them. That Brayfox impersonator had me completely fooled. Though, to be honest, those masks all look the same to me. That's true. We really don't know what a goblin looks like on the inside of the mask, but at the same time, I wouldn't ask that of them. To them, all of us Uplanders are essentially very smelly, and they use those masks with special herbs and fragrances inside to help them breathe, essentially. Alright, so, looks like they haven't added anything to the Watcher book, so... And there doesn't seem to be anybody else around at this time here. So let's make our way over to Alexander just to see if there's anything over there. At the very least, it looks like we've got 2 tanks already here, so we're just waiting on healers and DPS. Speaking of which, if you want to hop in, we are on the Aether server here, or the Aether Data Center. Here is Red Bricks. Giant of Metal is holding fast to land, and Slowfix is telling Red Bricks to keep eye on Big Hand. Alright, so nothing new from you then. So hopefully this won't take too long here. I'll just put this over here. Just for reference, I would be doing something else here while we're waiting, except this is the story character that we used as part of the series, and not my main character. So we're currently on Sargatanas instead of on Balmung. Otherwise, I'd be more than happy to do something else here while we're waiting, but this is what happens when you have to queue up for content. I guess while we're waiting here, I should also bring up that earlier today, it was announced that there's going to be a crossover between Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter World in the near future, sometime this summer. And so that's an event to look forward to. Looks like we got 2 healers now. Still waiting on DPS, and we're going to need a tank as well here. Alright, this is taking much longer than it should be here. Especially, given what the average wait time is. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that sometimes happens, whereby it doesn't tell you exactly who's queued up at that exact moment. It seems like there's like maybe a 1-minute delay on it or something like that. But here we go. Alright, they're headed off that way. We're climbing the stairs. We're fine to pull all the way. Alright, moving on. Back down we go. Alright, let's do it. So this guy, we've actually already seen, or at least we've seen a fire variant of it, over in the Great Google Library hard mode. So some of the mechanics are familiar. But once again, for the most part, it just boils down to don't stand in bad stuff. Alright, he is changing forms. Back to the hand, huh? Alright, this should be the last transformation. Back into his humanoid form. He also does have another form where he changes into a giant water spout. Alright, he's using ferrofluid, and for that one you basically need to keep an eye on what your magnetism is, based on if you get a plus and minus sign, and what your tethered partner gets as well. Alright, that takes care of the third boss. Gabi found it? Good. Knowings of missing piece are with Illuminati. Gabi did well indeed. This is how you treat those who please you? Now is realm in chaos, broken, machine with too many parts. But Illuminati plan needs one thing, missing piece to bring world order. Give world harmony, make world perfect. And what of those who don't fit your vision of perfection? How many must die to pay for your utopia? Don't you see? You've summoned a goddamned primal. It will devour the aether of every land you visit, until Heidelin and everything on it is dead. Inside fortress of Illuminati, chosen will live on. If inferior on outside die for progress, so be it. This is cost of seeking for knowings. Hell's take you and your damn seeking. Wise Uplanders find happiness in Illuminati rule. Unwise Uplanders, utopia does not need. So it's obey or die then. Ha! The whole concept is grotesque. No, Sid. Like the rest of the ideas set out in the Enigma Codex, Alexander is wonderful in itself. Perfect, even. But in the rush to realize its ideas, even the best of us can be led astray. Oh? So once upon a time, these Illuminati were starry-eyed philanthropists? Is that it? And it was only after they got their hands on your perfect bloody codex that they turned into vicious killers? Tell me, was there any passage in particular that convinced them to abandon their last shred of empathy? I cannot speak for the precise contents of the codex, not anymore, but I haven't forgotten everything I read. I think I can stop the core, if you can get me close enough. You think you can? Or you know you can? And what of its location? It's somewhere in the trunk. How close are we to that? I can't say. Roundrocks can say. Roundrocks paces of... 2 paces of Roundrocks are 1 yalm. So by count of Roundrocks, chest of Whirlycog Giant is only a little further. Ha! Clever girl. You've been measuring how far we've come from the start. Alright, I propose we withdraw for the time being. I don't know what will happen when we breach the core, but I do know that we'll be better equipped to deal with it if we're well rested and ready for anything. All should be well enough. Alright, let's hand in this quest. No one should have the power to choose who lives and who dies. The idea is too vile, too insidious to be left unchallenged. We have to act. If we don't, Alexander will awaken, and the Illuminati will be unstoppable. Make no mistake, Prince. It's now or never. Alright. I think I have the knowledge required to shut down the Giant's core, but if I'm to reach it, I'll need you to lend me your strength. Well, really, the Illuminati's latest message is, well, let's just say it's unsuitable for polite company. I should be much obliged if you teach those privy-mouthed savages some manners, Prince. Alright, so the Burden of the Father is now accessible. Let's go ahead and queue up for it. And once again, we've got an average of about 5 minutes here, so let's see what everybody is saying. If Uplander comes back safe from core breaking, Roundrox will give one piece of secret treasure. How exactly will I stop the giant? Let me worry about that. All you have to do is get me to the core. Don't worry about us, Prince. You just concentrate on getting me to the core in one piece. Wedge and I will bring up the rear when the coast is clear. Just you be careful, Prince. No telling what mechanical horrors are protecting the core. Alright, so it looks like we've at least got 2 DPS at this point here. So hopefully the wait won't be too long here. I guess let's fly over there while we're waiting. It looks like it's still just red bricks over here. So they probably won't have anything new to say. Let's try getting a look at this guy from the back. And unfortunately, with this barrier in the way, we can't actually approach it any closer than this here. But as long as we can take out that core, all should be well. I guess I'll put this thing on screen again here. Yep, and once again, it's all... Oh, okay, so actually, as you complete things here, it looks like more text is being added now. Here we go. The Illuminati would see the lofty ideas of the Enigma Codex turned into warped elitism, and have their primal play host to their chosen few. From within its walls, they would control the world with cold logic, and crush opposition with a fist of iron. With your eyes open to the Goblin Scholar's true ambitions, you must make your way farther past the pumping pistons and grinding gears of the Colossus. Can you and your comrades destroy the core therein, or will you fall, and so allow your foes to wreak ruin across the realm? Alright, and we've already gone past the 5-minute period here. Hopefully it won't be too much longer here. At this point, I'm expecting, once again, that roulette is going to help fill out the last slots here. And my understanding is essentially the way the roulette works is it looks for whatever parties need to be filled, and from there it basically keeps a queue in a list like of those, and just goes one by one until they've all filled. Just like this here. Come on, DPS. Alright, so it looks like we need another one to fill a slot here. Here we go. I guess somebody wasn't ready to go that time. I would expect that to happen more with the bigger 24-man raids than with the 8-man content. Apologies for the wait here tonight. Unfortunately, I have no control over how long this takes. I'm only one person in an 8-man team here. I at least tried to make sure that the wait was near instant when I started, so... Unfortunately, over time it seems like that has changed here. Here we go. You better get back here. All right. All right, our first target is going to be on the left. So there are those fireballs going out. Typically you want a tank to take the hits from those. Right, the manipulator is open to attack, so let's do that. Alright, it has closed off. Onto the left leg. Alright, so what happened, why two of the party members just disappeared, is they were sent off into another portion of the map where they had to take down an ad. Alright, back on the manipulator. So you do have players being targeted here. Tank should be picking up these shots from these bits. Down goes the fourth boss. Alright. Now let's see here. We will go after that. And let's get out of here. We're here, and none the worse for wear. So if you need another pair of hands, just say the word. Well, this is the heart of the machine, eh? I knew I should have brought a bigger hammer. Not that I'll be needing it, of course. Isn't that right, Mead? Look! Greater are knowings in brain cases of unwise than quick thinks believed. Perhaps quick thinks judge too quickly. Perhaps the Illuminati should study Uplanders. It is before eyes of Gabi? Good. Do not fail. Illuminati have no use for failing Gabis. End of Gabi's long wanderings is close. Something isn't right. Something isn't right at all. The way Quick Think spoke, you'd think he had won. He didn't seem too bothered, that's for sure. You think he might have planned for us stopping Alexander's core? What was it the chief said again? About the Illuminati finding what they needed to complete their plan? Something along the lines of a missing piece, I thought. And what of Quick Thinks' honor guard? The two dolts who are ever at his side, why aren't they here? The Illuminati must surely have known we were coming. What could be more important than protecting their leader? You don't think he sent them to Idleshire, do you? While our backs were turned, like... That would be... Come on. Alright, so this is the core. It certainly looks powered down to me. Let's get out of here. Alright, red bricks. Giant loses power. Uplanders succeed. Never mind that. Man, did the Illuminati come? Is Idleshire safe? How does Uplander know? Yes, many Illuminati come to take stuffs of Gobbyflock. Great was chaos, but suddenly Illuminati go and take only junk not worth jingly shine. They came barging in, ready to start a war, and then scapered with a handful of bleeding junk? Hold on a minute. Where were they last seen? Red Bricks thinks near the shortstop. Round Rocks, come on. I'll go and find the chief. He'll know what to do. Alright. Uplanders are gone too long for comfort of red bricks. Shortstop is place of clashings with Illuminati. Illuminati are up to no good. Maybe using confusion to do foul things. Uplander must go and see. Make sure all is well. Alright, to the shortstop we go. What happened, Meat? Is everything still as we found it? They haven't come back, have they? No, they're gone for now. And everyone seems to be fine, physically at least, but Round Rocks. Gone. All gone. Poor thing. The Illuminati took everything. I'm just glad she was off collecting trinkets with Backricks when they came. I daren't think what might have happened had she been here. Come, come, little one, dry your tears. One thief, unconscious. We found him lurking near the edge of town, not far from your treasure, Round Rocks. Uplander brings treasures home. Thanks to Uplander, many, many thanks. It was all Biggs, little one. He had a feeling a few soldiers might be lurking around, ready to ambush us. And this is what we stumbled onto when we went to look. But why did the Illuminati take Round Rocks' collection in the first place? Surely that can't have been their goal. I wouldn't be so sure. Were I to guess, I'd say the Illuminati believed something they wanted was hidden amongst Round Rocks' pile of trinkets. Rather than waste time sorting through them, they decided to take the lot. But when they subsequently realized they didn't have what they were looking for, they crept back into town and to wait for a chance to seize whatever it was they actually wanted. What if bad gobbies want most favoritist treasure of Round Rocks, one that is safe with uplanders? You mean the glowstone that Prince borrowed? But of course, it's been sitting in the decoding machine all along. Yes, Round Rocks would be sad without pretty glowstone. It is special treasure from near old castle, rusty one that was left by uplanders from before. Wait, what do you mean before? Round Rocks, were you near the Charlian ruins when the metal giant first appeared? Yes, Round Rocks saw Whirlycog Giant stand 3 years ago, but was only for a little bit, and big gobbies do not believe Round Rocks. 3 years ago, when someone tried and failed to summon the Primal? A fragment of the Codex, of all the places in the realm. Only a fragment of the original, so that crystal must be the Illuminati's missing piece. We may have stopped their primal and taken their prize, but our foes are not about to admit defeat. They'll be back, and out for blood, like as not. But we've got you, Prince, and I'm sure you'll be ready for the onslaught when it comes. Might I suggest you make merry till then? Alright, let us hand in the quest. Round Rocks is happy. Many friends worry. Think of Round Rocks. Uplander is one. Round Rocks thanks kind Uplander. Let me chime in as well, Prince. Round Rocks' home needed protection, and you provided it. Not many would do that, and certainly not in the face of a primal. You have my thanks also. Mead helped Round Rocks too. Uplanders have good hearts, and kind. Only so many of us find Machina pretty, my dear. We have to stick together, don't we? Did Mead always like whirlycogs and biddybobs? Not like you, Round Rocks. My love, he adored the things. Inventing, building, and tinkering with them. Mead always touches hunt mark when remembering. Do I? Well, I suppose I do. Those times were something else, little one. My friends and I, we were lost in our dream. We thought to put back the pieces of the broken world with logic, reason, and technology. And we were certain we could do it too. I hadn't much skill with thinking up things or making them, but I helped in my small way. And that feeling of aiding in someone else's dream, sharing it, washes over you like a wave of happiness. I've never felt that way since. Now it all seems so far away. Even the memories feel like I dreamed them, rather than lived them. Well, enough of that. Round Rocks is right, adventurer. You're a kindly soul. Keep an eye on our girl till next we meet, will you? Alright, and so with that, the first portion of the Alexander series is complete. There are still 2 more portions to go through. We're going to look at those at another time. If you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell so you're notified whenever I go live. I also have a Discord. Link to that is in the description below. Whenever I go live, I do put a notification in there as well to let everybody know that I am going live. Once again, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.